Hi there, Robin here from Expert On, and today we're going to be covering one of Pyle's new mixers, part of their Pyle Pro series. The name they're not throwing around so much, but they brought it out and put it onto this mixer here. Now we have reviewed the Pyle, they're called a PMXU43, 63 and 83 BT series. These are real popular mixers. Everybody loves buying them. We got Bluetooth, a whole bunch of features on them. But for example, this is their 4-channel series. This is also their 4-channel series. Dramatic upgrades on a lot of the features on it, and we're going to cover some of those features today. So this way you know what you're looking at. So what we'll do is we'll slide this one over here. We'll focus in on this one. Now, what we have is 4 channels laid out all on top. So we're not using any 1/4-inch single jacks on the side with no limited features and that kind of stuff on it. We've given it full features all the way up and down on the actual unit. Now, all sliders at the bottom, plus we have our effects slider at the bottom, MP3, which we'll show you in a minute. That's all covered up here, loaded of features of it. Now, these are my favorite controls. We've got our main outputs on all the way off to the side, but then right beside it, we have one that's called sub. Now, the sub is for exactly as it says. It's not code for anything. It's if I actually have a subwoofer hooked up to it, and I want to drive those separately from our main speakers. Now you can use it for other things, but I mean, a lot of times I get guys who say, I want to be able to turn up and down my sub separately, and we used to always do this through some little trick or using some other input or the headphone or control room output, that sort of thing. Here they straight up labeled it as sub. Uses up on top, it says right here sub, gives me some 1/4-inch outputs, no problem. For the mains off to the side, on top we got XLR outputs and we've got 1/4-inch outputs, so you get to use your choice of options up there. Getting back to the input lines, they've color-coded everything, which I really like. I mean, it makes it a lot easier for helping customers out and showing how things work, but it also makes it a lot easier when you're operating the unit once you get comfortable with it a little bit. On the top, the red knobs are our gain controls. Then we've got our blue knobs in the center, which is our built-in EQs, so we've got our high, low, and bass controls, all the mid separations, all brought here. Then we've got our auxiliary control here. Then we have our effects control. And then, which I like a lot, you don't get this on this mixer here, but you do get it on here. One of the features is pan and tilt, so this way we can actually fade left to right on the actual system. Now, another feature we get on here that we don't have on here is down at the bottom. We get a mute button, so we can mute that channel right out. And we also have the PFL button right here. Now, this allows me to monitor with my headphone input off to the side here. So my headphone's plugged in here, my headphone level. I can actually press this button in and listen to this channel before I actually put it live through the main output. So that's really handy. So if you want to listen in, be able to cue something up or do sound adjustments, you can do that as well. Now, they also, like I said, mute button. But if we notice, we've got orange and red buttons down here. If we look up here where the DSP setting is, so we haven't really talked about the DSP, but the most important part is to follow these buttons. We see another red and another orange button up here. Again, keeping with everything color-coded, it allows me, if I'm listening in on that channel, if I'm monitoring that channel without playing it out, I can actually decide to listen to it with or without the effects on it, which I think is really cool. Really, right up there. Same thing, I can mute out the effects by pressing the button. So, now that we've gotten ourselves all the way to the effects, let's talk a bit about those. 16 different effects built in. They do label them and give them names across the top of the unit here, but really it's a gradual step up in the actual effects itself. Now, to adjust it, they give us 2 more buttons underneath, so I can increase it, sort of like think of it as the repeat feature for the effects, for the echo, that sort of thing, and then the actual how loud we want it to be blended into the rest of the system. So we get those controls right here. Underneath that, we have an option to turn on and off, which is an EQ. So they give you a 7-band EQ. So if you need to adjust the sound, so you're listening to it here, you're not really getting what you want out of it, you can adjust all of that with the 7-band equalizer at the bottom here. So that's, again, a really nice feature. Now we're back up into this corner here, which is where they actually put in the MP3 player. It also allows me to Bluetooth to the unit, so I can now wirelessly connect to this unit, no problem. And That USB port that's here is not just for plugging music into via USB. You can get a cable to go from straight to our computer, and now you can play and stream off of the computer right into here as well. Now they've also added an extra feature. If you take a regular USB stick and put it in here, you can hold down the new button, which is the record button. If you hold it down for 2 seconds, it'll start recording, and if you tap on it again, it'll stop recording. So all that's incorporated into this unit. Again, making it really, really nice to have. Now, you've put an auxiliary, an aux on it, so this way, if we need to set up a monitor for somebody, a stage monitor, you can do that with the auxiliary and then allow them to hear exactly what they want to hear. And that's, again, all the yellow buttons here. Anybody can have their own monitor, and you can listen into it. You plug that in here, and whatever speaker's plugged into here, they're only going to be listening to what's going on the yellow knob. So as you turn it up, you're all set. And there you go. That's what's going on there. Now, they also, just so we don't miss it on the MP3 player, because I just passed that, there's its own bass and treble control, those blue buttons. Back to the red buttons down here, we've got a tape and we've got a headphone jack button, with the jack and the headphone control. So that's all there. Overall, really, really nice. The RCA plugs is for tape in, record out. And we've covered the auxiliary here, and it's got a return on the actual unit as well. It's full featured. I mean, it's got way more than here. They're calling this their 4-channel, and this is their Pro Series 4-channel. This is all consumer grade product, so price points are absolutely phenomenal on it. And Pyle always gives a product a 1-year warranty. As long as you're buying it from an authorized dealer, then you're all set. I can't say much more about it because we could talk about this particular one all day long. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. Your creativity is the only limitation you have. If you come up with an idea, you can probably run it on here. Like I said, so you've got your effects controls, you've got another channel that allows you for your MP3, which is, it brings me back to they call it a 4-channel, but yet they've given the MP3 controls up here its own channel. So compared to some of their other units and other companies' units as well, if they had just thrown a couple of RCAs onto this line here, it probably would have been considered a 6-channel unit. So anyways, it's Rob from Expert On. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below in the comments section there. If you like the video, let me know. Sorry about that. And please subscribe if you haven't. Thank you very much. I'm Rob from Expert On. Bye now.